Have you ever felt like you've gone too far? Like you've made a mistake so big there's no coming back from it? I want to tell you a story today, a timeless story that speaks directly to that feeling. It's about a young man full of fire and ambition who felt trapped by the familiar. He looked at his father, a wealthy and respected man, and instead of seeing love, he saw a barrier to his own freedom. So he did something audacious. He went to his father and said, "Give me my share of the inheritance now." Imagine the weight of those words. He wasn't just asking for money. He was essentially saying, "You're as good as dead to me. I want what's mine, and I want to be free." To everyone's surprise, the father agreed. He divided his property and gave the younger son his portion. The son didn't waste a second. He packed his bags, cashed in his assets, and journeyed to a distant country. He was finally free, or so he thought. He had a pocket full of cash and a heart full of desire. The days turned into a blur of wild parties, lavish spending, and fleeting friendships that lasted only as long as his money did. He lived for the moment, chasing every pleasure, never once thinking about tomorrow. The inheritance meant to secure his future was squandered on a lifestyle that was as empty as it was exciting. But parties always end, and for the young man, the end was brutal. Just as his last coin was spent, a severe famine swept through the land. Suddenly, the so-called friends vanished. The invitations stopped coming. He was alone, broke, and desperate in a foreign country. Hunger became his constant companion. He had no choice but to find work, and the only job he could get was the most demeaning one imaginable for a Jewish man, feeding pigs. There he was, the son of a wealthy man, now living in a pigsty, so hungry he found himself craving the very pods he was throwing to the swine. It was in that moment of utter degradation, surrounded by the filth and the stench, that he finally came to his senses. The fog of his reckless life lifted, and clarity hit him like a physical blow. He thought, how many of my father's hired servants have more than enough bread, and here I am, starving to death. The memory of home, of his father's kindness, flooded his mind. He wasn't just hungry for food. He was starving for dignity, for love, for a life he had so foolishly thrown away. Humiliation washed over him, but with it came a tiny spark of hope. He made a decision. I will get up and go back to my father. He even rehearsed his speech. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am no longer worthy to be called your son. Just make me like one of your hired servants." He didn't expect forgiveness, only a sliver of mercy. So, with heavy feet and a heavier heart, he began the long journey home. He was dirty, gaunt, and clothed in rags. He probably imagined a dozen scenarios: his father's anger, the servant's scorn, his older brother's judgment. But what actually happened was something he could never have dreamed of, while he was still a long way off. His father saw him. This tells us something incredible. The father had been watching, waiting, scanning the horizon every single day, hoping for his son's return. And when he saw that familiar figure, he didn't wait. He didn't stand on ceremony. He was filled with compassion, and he ran. In that culture, for an elder, a patriarch, to run was undignified. But love doesn't care about dignity. He ran, threw his arms around his filthy, broken son, and kissed him. Before the son could even finish his rehearsed apology, the father was already shouting orders to his servants. "Quick! Bring the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Bring the fattened calf and kill it. Let's have a feast and celebrate. For this son of mine was dead and is alive again. He was lost and is found." There was no lecture. No "I told you so." There was only overwhelming joy and unconditional grace. The son thought he had to earn his way back, but the father's love was a gift, freely given. The robe covered his shame, the ring restored his identity as a son, and the sandals marked him as a free man, not a slave. The story is a powerful reminder. No matter how far we wander, no matter how big our mistakes, grace runs faster. Love is always watching the horizon, waiting for us to come home. Thanks for listening. If this story resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who might need to hear it today.